When I first heard about this Planet of the Apes game, I thought it was based off the abysmal 2001 Tim Burton remake. However, as it turns out, it's actually based off the original 1968 film. So I figured, a game based off the original classic Apes film? They couldn't possibly screw that up! But boy was I wrong! So anyway, let's get into it. Planet of the Apes for the Game Boy Advance. I'll say this for the game. The graphics do look fairly sharp. Heston's character Taylor does look somewhat like his movie counterpart, as do the apes. In addition, the game does a decent, if not spectacular job representing the backgrounds from the movie. There's the desert, the ape village, and the Statue of Liberty in the Forbidden Zone, among other levels. But there's also some odd levels, like this shiny cave. I don't know, maybe they got the Land of Oz mixed up with post-apocalyptic Earth. My only complaint with the graphics are the cutscenes. They look rather washed out and unappealing. I wish they had used stills from the movie instead. Where Planet of the Apes really starts to falter, though, is in the controls. Given that they're pretty simple, though, you wouldn't think they'd be that bad. You move left and right with the control pad. Up allows you to jump straight upward, grab onto objects, and climb up them, while down allows you to drop off cliffs and duck. Tap down and left or right and you can inch your way forward. Tap it too hard though and you'll end up doing a roll. And I'll get to that more in a bit. A allows you to jump forward and use a weapon or item. But to draw weapons you have to press B first. And to holster them you have to press B again. And the L and R buttons allow you to select your inventory as shown at the top of the screen. Now when it comes to this control scheme, I think I know what the game designers were trying to go for. They were trying to make a game that played like Prince of Persia, Flashback, Another World, or Blackthorn. You know, a game with more realistic controls. And that's all well and good. But they managed to mangle this control scheme horribly! Let me give you an example. For one thing, getting onto these slightly higher platforms is ridiculous! You can't just jump forward onto them. Oh no, that would be too easy. So if you repeatedly try to jump onto a slightly higher platform, you'll just keep on bouncing off it like duh 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 duh. No, to have Taylor get onto these platforms, you have to press forward and have him hop onto them. What is with these pissy fucking controls? Just let me jump on them. But no, they had to make things more complicated than they needed to be. Oh, and I hope you like doing running jumps off of cliffs and hanging onto other ones and having to climb back up them. Because you're going to have to do that over and over and over again. Furthermore, the controls are way too sensitive. And this really comes into play with the ducking, as I mentioned earlier. Say you're standing by a spike pit. You duck and inch your way a little bit forward so you can make the jump. But if you press forward just a little bit too hard, you end up rolling into the pit and dying. Couldn't they have given you a button combination to make you roll, like say down and forward and A? No, they have to make the controls so slippery that you can fuck up easily. Even doing simple shit is annoying. Like reaching down to pick up items. If you have a weapon drawn, you can't just reach down and pick up the item. Oh no. You have to holster your weapon, duck, make sure you're on the item, then press down to pick it up. You mean to tell me that you can't press down and have Taylor pick something up with his free hand? What, does he have bad motor coordination or something? This is fucking ridiculous! Yet as bad as the controls are, the gameplay is even worse! Your big mission in this game is to pick up flags. I'm not kidding! In every single level, you go around picking up fucking flags! Worse yet, these flags aren't even required to beat the levels. Couldn't the game designers have given me something more substantial to do? Like, I don't know, maybe escaping from the goddamn apes? No, we're gonna give you busy work picking up flags. Alright, in fairness, the game does have some actual apes. But they're so stupid that all they do is walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. After going through thousands of years of evolution, you would think these apes might have some intelligence. But nope, they're dumb as bricks. They just pace back and forth repeatedly. Oh yeah, and maybe occasionally attack you too. So much for evolution. Actually, I shouldn't be blaming evolution. I should be blaming the game designers for not putting in any fucking decent AI. Admittedly, the game does occasionally throw in an extra task, like activating a bridge. But by and large, it's the same shit over and over again. collect flags, and kill apes. That's it. After a short time, the gameplay becomes extremely dull. Even some of the obstacles are fucking lame. Like a cactus. Yes, cacti block your way and you have to chop them down with your knife. I am not making this shit up. And the funny thing is, they don't even hurt you. So why put it in there? At this rate, they may as well put a fucking Christmas tree in your way, because it doesn't make any difference. What's really annoying though is the cheap tricks that the game designers use to make this game harder. Like positioning enemies in a really tight spot. You have to climb up, slowly draw your weapon, and attack it. And by that time, you're pretty much certain to get damage. In certain cases, it's better to avoid enemies than fight them. Especially since you don't have to kill all of them anyway. But sometimes the game forces you into a tight spot, and you're going to take damage no matter what the hell you do. And then there are obstacles like these instant kill shit pits. You have to time your running jumps just right, or you'll fall in and die. Which isn't always the easiest thing in the world to do when the controls are so terrible. There's another thing that kind of bothers me about this game. They put these weird fucking enemies in the game that aren't even apes. Snakes, bears, and billy goats. Yes, billy goats. Snakes and bears, okay. But billy goats? Is this Noah's Ark or Planet of the Apes? Some of the enemies, though, are admittedly interesting. Like these telepathic mutants from the second Apes movie. Why they put them in a game of the first movie, I don't know. I guess they just decided to combine parts of the first and second film. But anyway, one type of mutant shoots a gun at you. And the other kind shoots, telepathic gum bubbles at you. Yeah, right. Just go with it. The last level of the game takes place in the destroyed underground city from the second film. And just like with the apes, the game puts you in cheap, tight spots with the mutants just to give you some extra damage. This game is supposed to be the Planet of the Apes, not Planet of the Assholes. Oh, and you want to see the final boss? Get ready for this. It's a big ape with a machine gun, whom you can kill quickly with a machine gun burst of your own. For fuck's sake, why even have a boss if you're not even going to try to make him difficult? It's so pointless. After that, you walk past the big bomb and the game's over. What's even more aggravating is the hash they made out of the second movie's ending. In this version, Taylor doesn't blow up the whole world. No, in this version, the other astronaut stops the bomb from going off. And then one of the apes takes Taylor's time shuttle and does something and goes somewhere. It's so confusingly laid out that I'm not even exactly sure what happened. At this rate, they may as well have used the Ape Lincoln ending from the remake, because it couldn't be any fucking worse than this. As for the game's music, it sucks. They use the same damn theme in every single level. Here, listen. Couldn't they have given us some music from the movie? No, we're just going to give you elevator music for the whole game. This could be some of the worst fucking music I've ever heard in any game. And the fact that they couldn't even make one different tune for any of the levels is doubly insulting. Whoever signed off on this motherfucking score should have a fucking trombone shoved up their fucking ass. Despite having great source material to work with, the game designers fumbled this one big time. Unless you like being bored and frustrated, I'd give this game a pass. So in conclusion, Planet of the Apes doesn't work as an adaptation of the original movies, nor does it work on its own terms. To paraphrase Taylor from the first movie, it should be damned to hell. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. This game is supposed to be the Planet of the Apes, not Planet of the Assholes.